Frustration is good in learning English language. What is frustration? Frustration is a strong negative emotion. Frustration is when you feel annoyed or you feel anger. And why frustration occurs? And you might be wondering that ma'am is telling us frustration is good. How it is good? Because according to me, frustration is good. And what is frustration? Frustration is a strong emotional negative feeling. When you are annoyed, when you don't and when you can't achieve something, when you want to do something but you can't do, when you want to achieve something but you can't achieve. Prevention of success, prevention of progress, prevention of achievement is called frustration. And it is a strong feeling. For example, in English language learning, you have tried a lot in your past years. You memorized vocab after hours. And in a new meeting, you find the opportunity, you find a new chance to use that, to utilize that new word. But what happens? You forget that word in a conversation. What would be your feelings? Your feelings would be frustration. I learned that word. I spent lots of hours on learning and memorizing that word. Why did I not remember that word? Why did I forget that word? And for example, you learned grammar rules, but you used wrong grammar. You used wrong pronunciation. Then you feel frustrated. For majority of the people in our society, frustration leads to depression. Frustration is not good, but I will prove here that frustration is good. And when you feel frustration, what should you do? Should you stop your learning process or should you continue that process? First of all, recently I heard a very interesting podcast hosted by Dr. Huberman, a neurologist, where he talks about frustration and where he proves that frustration is a good sign for your learning process. And I will talk about another Hickson, a famous wrestler, who says that frustration is good because he is a world champion wrestler and he succeeded and he achieved many awards, many belts. But in spite of that, in his book Breathe, he says that to push myself, I had to feel the taste of failure. I had to taste the failure. I had to feel this frustration every day. I had to feel this failure every day. And I keep this taste in my mouth in order to remember that I have felt that. And this frustration pushes me towards success. Now talk about Dr. Huberson. Dr. Huberson, he says that our learning occurs at two levels. First is conscious level. Conscious level is that level when we know that we are learning something. For example, we are learning new words, we are learning or we are understanding a new podcast. We are trying to achieve fluency in English language and we are trying our effort. And we are conscious, we are aware of this learning process. This is conscious level. But he says that the best learning occurs at unconscious level. When you are not aware of that, when your unconscious brain, when your emotional part of your brain starts working, then you had long-term memory. Then you learn the things which are not forgotten by you. And when it happens, and what triggers your unconscious brain, your emotional brain to start work, to start thinking about that thing, and you get the tremendous results. For example, Dr. Huberson, he says that when you feel frustrated, when you feel disappointment, when you feel anger and annoyed at not being able to achieve something, when you want to do something but you are not doing the same thing, when you don't get the required results, then what would be the feelings? What would be your strong emotion? Your strong emotion would be frustration. And this frustration, he says that, is like a bulb, is like a light or electricity that turns on your unconscious or your emotional part of your brain. It is a signal to your brain that some problem has occurred and now you had to start working. Because your unconscious or your emotional brain starts working when you are at your resting position, when you are not working consciously. Now frustration occurs. Now you feel the taste of failure and you are frustrated. And in a common life, what happens that we break that moment, we leave that moment, we leave learning English, we leave learning new words. But Dr. Huberson, he says that this is the right moment. Don't stop your learning process, because it is a signal. Your frustration has turned on your unconscious brain, your unconscious, your emotional brain, and he starts working. So don't stop learning. Do extra effort. Do face your challenges. Do face your defeat and start working. Because this is the most powerful time, and it is the time when the miracle happens, when you achieve your desirable dreams. How you achieve your desirable dreams? Because now your brain, your unconscious brain, which takes a greater part in learning process, takes part, and he works with you, and at last you get the mastery level. Dr. Huberson says that after frustration, during this frustration, when you just smile at your frustration, when you just smile, and you are not in the mood to smile, but you smile that I will do something. I am at nothing. You are facing failure, you have faced failure, you are at the 0 point, you are not learning something, you are defeated, and you are unable to even stand up. Just feel that. Just feel that failure. Just feel the failure in your party when you are unable to speak the desired words. When you get stuck. These are the moments when you feel frustrated, when you feel annoyed and angered. But if you smile, that though I had felt the taste of failure, though I felt frustrated, but I will not give up. This part of your mastery level will give you immense courage to do more. Your unconscious, your emotional brain will support you, and at last you will get up, you will learn, and you will be a successful English learner. So this is a quite different lesson from others' lesson, from other videos of mine, because in this video I have talked about unusual way. When you feel frustrated, don't stop your learning process, do more effort, and you will succeed. So comment me in the comment section how would you find this video, because according to me this is something new video, unusual video, and this is a new experience. But this is not the new experience, because all the winners of history have felt this taste of frustration. But when then they smile, they get up and they go for their task, and they achieved everything. And I sincerely want this to you in learning English language. If you like the video, kindly share and subscribe it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.